Alright, beef jerky. Oh! A man of culture. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. This season, Nidoqueen got a buff again with Poison Fang doing more damage than it has done before. Nidoqueen was obviously a beast before they nerfed it back a couple seasons ago, and I'm trying to see if the Queen is back or not. So I decided to run a Shadow Nidoqueen line in Ultra League, and it's been a ton of fun to bring this Pokemon back because a lot of teams are not prepared for it, and it ends up being a core breaker for a lot of team compositions. I ended up pairing it with Cobalion and Obscune, Cobalion being one of the strongest safe swap in all of Ultra League, and it definitely proved to be very useful in this line as well. Before we get into the battles, a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would also like to have early access to my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link down below. One of my favorite teams that I've been facing is this Virizion double electric team. Like I said, Nidoqueen is an absolute core breaker for a lot of teams, and this being definitely one of them. Actually, this team was, I believe, created from Zweilous back in Ultra League Summer Cup, and then Homesize Henry decided to use it in Open Great League as well to hit Expert with it. So, definitely a very strong team, but not something that wants to see a Shadow Nidoqueen. And of course, the rest of my team is actually very good into this backline as well there too. So, not a great time for my opponent. I definitely had to respect the potential Zap Cannon there or Focus Blast, so I end up shielding, which I think is valuable because I get a lot of value off of this as well, and I really don't want my Obscune matchup against Virizion. I will say that my team in this video relies a lot on proper alignment, but there are definitely situations where even without the alignment you can still core break with maybe the Obscune in the back. Obviously in this situation we're in a good spot. So speaking of ice types and other buffs, Shadow Alolan Sandslash is going to be one of them that got buffed. And yes, Cobalion is a very great safe swap, but it doesn't do great into the Ghost and Psychic types like Cresselia, Jellicent, Cofagrigus. So we're going to have to see how we play around this. Most throw Shadow Ball right off the bat, so I decided to shield it. I'm really going to try to fight for switch advantage here. And let's see if our opponent gives it to us or not. Some opponents do, some do not. I'm just going to bait with a Sacred Sword here, and unfortunately we don't get the shield. So yeah, that's not going to be a good time. And then I'm going to go again. So they could have potentially gave up switch advantage, but now we are going to just keep throwing Sacred Swords, and unfortunately we don't get switch advantage, but we do grab both their shields. So it's not the end of the world. If I can land an Earth Power on the Alolan Sandslash, it could be okay. Let's see what they have in the back, and it's going to be a Clefable. So unfortunately, I'm hard countered throughout this matchup. Obviously, if I threw that Stone Edge and didn't throw the Sacred Sword, I would have been in a good spot. But because we went for the bait and we didn't grab the shield there, we are in a much tougher situation. And Moonblast is going to do a lot of damage. I don't run Gunk Shot on my Obscune. The Cross Drop is very, very helpful in numerous matchups. So I am going to try to Poison Jab this thing down, and let's see how close we can take it. And they do come in with the Sandslash, and we're going to throw the Earth Power here. We do one-shot it, and just barely able to hang on. So, bad lead, bad safe swap, and bad backline, but still able to make it work. So, again, Shadow Nidoqueen, I think, is back in action. I think he's very good in a lot of matchups here. It's really how you build up the backline, or if you decide to run Nidoqueen in the back, that's also an option as well. All right, my opponent is going to come in with the Jellicent here. I'm just going to overfarm a little bit just so I can optimize my timing a little bit. Jellicent, honestly, with Surf makes this matchup really annoying. Even with Hex, which is what pretty much every Jellicent runs these days, it's still actually very strong into Obscune. You're going to see it actually chips me down quite a bit, but obviously I'm going to overfarm here. I just don't really want the Dragonite to come away with too much energy here. Honestly, I can't even overfarm that much, as you can see here, because, yeah, they would have beat me to that last serve anyway, so that's why I'm going to overfarm a little bit. And then I actually hard pivot back over to my Nidoqueen, seeing that it's a Tapu Fini. I don't want that Tapu Fini to have any energy advantage. And then now we probably just come in Obscune. We force him to throw the energy, which is not too bad. And then now with a shield advantage, I am going to try to take out this Tapu Fini. Cobalion being super strong, even into fairy types there too. That Stone Edge and speed of energy generation with double kick is very, very strong. And even if they bait me here with a Surf, they just don't have time to even go for a Moonblast afterward. And they do go straight for the Moonblast. So we're going to try to finish this off. But yeah, I think there are other ways to run Shadow Nidoqueen in this meta. You could definitely run it in the back. I personally like it in the front, but against a lot of these Ghost and Psychic types, it is a little tough. I will say that. And speaking of tough matchups, this is one of them. I personally like to shield a lot of these big, heavy-hitting Ghost moves like Shadow Ball or potential like Future Sights from Cresselia, just because if they land them and they take out your Cobalion, good players are able to pivot out and swap out, so you don't really want that situation there. They actually swap in and catch a Stone Edge on their Drapion, so not too bad for me. Unfortunately, I'm forced to shield again. Again, I really want alignment with the team if possible. That would definitely be ideal for me. And the Cofagrigus is left with energy, right? So I really can't risk it. But getting to back-to-back Sacred Sword here is pretty nice, and my opponent's not going to shield. They still have 2 shields, though. So again, this is not a fun situation by any means, but we do get to another Stone Edge, which is very, very nice. And then I'm going to hard swap over to my Obstagoon because I don't want them to farm any further energy, and they actually come with Shadow Skuntank. So kind of makes sense. Double Dark with a Ghost in the lead. Double Dark Poison, to be more specific. But yeah, I just didn't want that Cofagrigus to have too much energy here. So we are going to throw another Cross Chop here. Again, Cross Chop is just so much better in a lot of these matchups. And I'm going to try to swap out here. We do swap straight away to the Nidoqueen. I'm going to force them to dump all their energy. They can't take me out with one Shadow Ball, obviously. Even if they're running Psychic, I don't think it's enough. Well, I got a treat for you, Cran. You don't want to miss this one. And then here it comes. Can we get to the Night Slash? And we barely do. Triple resisted Shadow Claws. Obscune super clutch. A boost for good measure in the end there. So again, Ghost leads are not easy. Speaking of Ghost leads, here's another Ghost lead. So here comes a Ghost in the lead. I'm going to, again, shield the Shadow Ball, the hard-hitting move. And then they actually come in Cresselia. So this is actually a bad time for me. I mean, not only do I have a bad matchup in the lead, I have a bad counter swap, and Cresselia is not bad into Nidoqueen either. So yeah, we're going to have to do some maneuvering around. Most are not running Future Sight, and I don't really feel like spending my shield here. Even Future Sight is not going to hit as hard as Shadow Ball, to my knowledge. I could be wrong about that one. But our Switch timers are up. I'm trying to think, how do I play this out? I just had to go straight to Nidoqueen. If I could absorb some of this energy, that wouldn't be too bad. Ends up being Grass Knot, which is not too bad because the Jellicent's going to almost take me out. I really want my Obscure on the Jellicent if possible, right? We're going to be able to come out with some energy there and, yeah, be in a good spot. So they do throw a Surf here. I come in with the Obstagoon, and again, you're going to have to take a lot of Surfs before you get to a lot of moves, but that's okay. Oh, I think Cranberry's done with this, so we're going to let her go on her way here. But yeah, we're going to overfarm here a bit, making sure we optimize as well on our timings. We get a boost here, but it's a Virizion, so this is not good. We throw another one. We get a double boost, actually, and they actually catch the move on Cresselia, so not the best situation. But unfortunately, there's just only so much we can do. I chose not even to swap out there because the boosted counter damage is something, but yeah, those are 3 things that beat Cobalion. My Cobalion had nowhere to go. My Obstacle didn't have a lot of places to go either there. So sometimes that happens, right? But a Ghost lead with a Psychic in the back and a Fighter as the third. Yikes. That's not a fun time. Alright, so this Charizard is going to bait here. And some people like to swap into Tapu Fini for whatever reason, but it just helps me a lot, so I prefer to stay in. And the boosted Poison Jab damage, as you can see, doing so much here. I'm just going to double shield at this point. You know what? I'm going to shield again, preserve this, come in with my Cobalion, and just farm all the way down here. We're going to come up with so much energy here. Yes, I hate with this Moonblast, but the Charizard can't take us out with a Dragon Claw, so either way, I'm in a good spot. So I'm going to throw a Sacred Sword Baits, and then go for another one, I think. Yeah, we go for another one. Like I said, the Dragon Claw is just not enough to KO us. I don't even have a shield. I'm actually surprised they went for that. I'm surprised they didn't go for the what do you call it, for the blast burn. But that's good for us. We still have energy. They are up a shield, unfortunately, so something to watch out for. But I'm going to try to counter this all the way down, come out with some energy, because I need to throw something as Charizard, and because they still have a shield. They are going to get a wing attack off here. I think maybe I go for a combo play. Oh no, they throw the energy right away. This is good, because I don't think they have too much energy to overfarm off of, and we have the Sacred Sword ready. I think I had a Stone Edge too. I could have just done that too, but yeah, Fly Release are not too bad as long as you just stay in Nidoqueen for the most part. Scrafty also very solid. I mean, Cobalion can also beat Scrafty, so we're okay there. But the best part about Nidoqueen is, yes, Poison Fang is more energy than it used to be, but it's still a great bait, especially against stuff like Tentacruel. I'm gonna overfarm here. I believe I didn't even throw on a CMP here, which is really nice, and then we take out the Tentacruel on top of that, so we get so much value. I mean, look at how much health we have left, right? And then at this point, because I know I have the alignment I want, I'm not going to swap out. I'm just going to do as much damage as I can. Finishes off with Obstagoon, and then finish off the Scrafty with the Cobalion. So they're going to throw the Surf. And again, Nidoqueen being a core breaker there, right? They couldn't really swap in their only check there, so they had to swap in Tentacruel. I just stay in and then get the alignment I want here. I will say that Shadow Nidoqueen and Obstagoon are really good pairings overall. They cover each other's weaknesses really well, so anytime you have switch advantage and both of those Pokemon still healthy and alive, then you're in a good spot. Yeah, so that's personally what I would recommend. There's a few core breakers for sure. I think one of the main core breakers to that, to both of them is Charizard. Yeah, Charizard being one of them. Swamper's kind of annoying, but I wouldn't say it's a core breaker. Obstagoon has to play into it as long as you have even shields. Alright, so Obstagoon, or sorry, Deoxys Defense. I'm down a shield, and conventional wisdom says you shouldn't spend both your shields this early, but I choose to shield it because I get so much value here. So I'm going to throw this Sacred Sword, and this is going to be Icicle Spear. So I'm going to come out with a lot of energy here. But yes, I'm down 2 shields, which is not ideal. But I figured preserving this Cobalion, preserving alignment is still pretty nice. And then we actually go for the Nidoqueen. I'm going to go straight for the Earth Power. I know that Psycho Boost is not going to take me out. They actually no-shield the Earth Power, which is really nice. Because now my Obstagoon has some play here. They go straight for the Rock Slide. So obviously, I mean, I don't have shields, so it's not a big deal. But I can't get to the Earth Power, so I'm going to throw one more Poison Jab just to try to trick them. But they don't fall for it. They know their counts. I now come in with the Obstagoon here. We have Cross Chop again. This is definitely useful here. They're actually going to shield the Cross Chop. Not that in the world. But yeah, so Earthquake is going to connect here. I think I miscounted there. I probably should have thrown the Cross Chop ahead of time. But we still get there. And I throw a Night Slash, I guess, potentially if... I don't know why I threw that. I should just throw a Cross Chop because even if they came in Deoxys Defense, they wouldn't be able to hang on there. However, we have back-to-back Sacred Sword. So again, all that energy saved from earlier on Cobalion coming in handy here. Right, so this is not a fun lead. In fact, this is one of the worst leads, if not the worst leads possible. Escavalier. Mainly because it is a core breaker of core breakers. It beats all 3 of my Pokemon. I mean, Cobalion has some play on even energy, but even then, you're not in a great spot. And it hard beats Obstagoon, and it beats Nidoqueen unless I bait perfectly, which I kind of started baiting okay. What I probably should have done, just save the energy. So I'm going to overfarm here a little bit. And then, yeah, they're going to hit me with a Brave Bird here. Unfortunately, it's on CMP. So my plan is to completely undercharge this and try to farm it down. However, I think I undercharged it a little too much. And as you can see, here comes another Brave Bird. So this is a very bad time for me. I definitely need to come away with some energy there to have some play. We do have moves ready and trying to get to Earth Power, but unfortunately CMP here. So even the extra energy for my Nidoqueen is just not enough. And I don't even know if we get to see the third Pokemon or not. We do. It's going to be Ampharos. So Ampharos maybe would have had some neutral play in the back with Obstagoon, but unfortunately at this health range, I just cannot do much. We're going to do what we can here, but I'm pretty sure this Ampharos has either Zapkin or Focus Blast. Honestly, 2 Thunder Punch is enough here too. But they're going to finish us off with the Zapkin. So definitely a very tough lead, but you know, you can only do so much against every Pokemon in the meta. Alright, so Kommo-o. Not too bad. Honestly, all three Pokemon have decent play into it. But I'm gonna just stay in here because the Poison Fangs are going to add up. And we grab a shield, which is nice. And then now they come in their Jellicent, and you know the drill. Jellicent comes in, you just counter swap with Obstagoon. If you get a boost here, even better. If not, it's not the end of the world. The neutral counter and cross chop will still do some damage into the Kommo-o, so not too bad. But again, most importantly, you want to optimize your charge move timing if you can, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to check out my optimized charge move timing video. It's very crucial, especially at high level play. And just in general, honestly, it's important at any elo range you're at. Obviously, the better you get at it, the faster you climb. My opponent actually did not end up farming me down, and so I was just throwing Dragon Claw, which is very nice for me. I'm gonna just throw this Poison Fang, start chipping it away, and we'll see what's in the back. It's gonna be a Charizard. So this is gonna be kind of an interesting situation. If they overfarm here, I'm in a really bad spot. So I actually have to try to catch a Dragon Claw. That's my only win condition. And we go for the catch here. Able to catch a Dragon Claw. I go straight for the Sacred Sword because I know I don't reach the Stone Edge. And I'm going to force them to throw some energy with that chip damage. So it kind of worked out, I guess. Because I need that damage. And then they try to catch with the Kommo-o. Unfortunately, I didn't even have to move, I think, but we do get the Poison Fang off, and yeah, very close win there in the end. Overall, I think Shadow Nidoqueen still has a lot of play. It's much harder to use in Great League, in my opinion, than Ultra League, but Ultra League, getting that extra bulk, having a lot of interesting neutral / advantageous matchups is definitely going to be good for it. But I did make one change to this team, and it still includes Shadow Nidoqueen. However, I switched it around a little bit and got even more wins out of it. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video on what adjustment I made for this team. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, especially tomorrow's video, and I'll catch you all next time.